Ok, give me.
Buonasera e benvenuti a tutti ragazzi, cari amici, abbiamo un ospite speciale, un ospite di fama internazionale. Hi Mr. Ferrara, how are you? Welcome.
Hi, great. I'm fine. Thank God I'm alive. I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's doing good.
It's a real honor for us because your movie is it was very important. It is very important for our culture. One of my best movie is The Kings of New York.
Thank you. Yeah, I got my partner over here, my cat.
Oh, very nice cat.
Yeah, bring her over. Come over here. Yeah, because she's gonna be driving me crazy. Here we go. Here. Come on, stay over here. Let me talk. Oh, go. All right. So, King of New York. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, I have my first question is
Good.
what was your childhood as an Italian American in New York?
In New York, I grew up in the Bronx at a young age. It was very family orientated. It was a very beautiful, very nice section of the Bronx. And I have a large extended family from southern Italy, from Sarno is the town. So my uncles and my cousins and, so it was, very, the entire neighborhood was very southern, I mean, the Neapolitan, Sicilian, Barese, Pugliese, mostly. We, there was a Catholic school, was the center of the community, and we had a very carefree and loving, and it was almost like the culture was so strong. My grandfather never spoke English, so all my uncles spoke Neapolitan, and the food was so close, was from Sarno. Now when I go back there, it's very specific. The smells, the food, to what I grew up. So it was pretty idyllic. Very beautiful, but certainly focused on the Catholic Church and that kind of education.
And what do you what do you miss most about America?
What I miss the most about America, I think the cross-cultural thing. I think of New York is because in Europe, wherever you are, if you're in Italy, you're with Italians. If you're in France, it's in Spain, it's Spanish. In New York, it's just a mix of everyone in the world. There is no more neighborhoods like the neighborhoods I grew up, at least in downtown Manhattan, where I lived. And, there's a kind of energy and a pulse and a feeling of like the entire world is in that place, and you're feeling energy and you're hearing music and languages and people look the complete gamut, especially this day and age, people could be part Korean and part from Trinidad or part Spanish and part, from Alaska. And, and it's such it's really, everyone is like, that's what I miss a little bit. Yeah.
And in the 70s and the 80s, New York was in the middle of the pop art era. What is left of that period?
Zero, I would say. When the money came in, when it became a money city, and for anyone to live there, especially young artists, it became prohibitive. When in the 70s and 80s, the city was pretty much bankrupt. You could squat in Manhattan. A lot of people I knew they didn't even pay rent, never mind the amount of rent that's being asked for. Things were cheap. You could live, so it became a place where people come. New York is like Rome or like Paris. People come from all over to come. The one thing you find out when you live in Manhattan is, because I was from the Bronx, or I was from upstate New York, so even I was not from downtown Manhattan. so many people come from so many different places, like I'm talking about, but they were able to survive. They were able to do their art. There was like a kind of synchronic thing going on, that was very
And
specific to that period.
what was your big success for you? Your big success for you?
My big what?
What was your big success for you? Your best movie for you?
I'm not, I'm working on my new movie called Zeros and Ones. So I'm like locked into that one. So for right now, that's my favorite movie, because we're just finishing it. So,
And what was it like working with William Defoe, Harvey Keitel, Madonna? What did of each time of leave you?
well, each one is different. Every person is different. Madonna, she was cool. I mean, we fought it out a lot, but looking back at it, I have really fond memories, and I really love that movie that we did together, and I love her in it. Dangerous Games. So, Harvey, who was in that movie, I have a whole different relationship. I haven't worked with him in a long time, but I have really fond memories of these people are very giving and kind. I mean, yeah, even Mo, I mean, in her own way, she's a giving and a really caring chick who's got a lot to give, and is always trying to, give it. Harvey, I learned so much from Harvey. I can't explain, our whole group did. He brought like the culture of, those films that he made with Marty, of a whole nother world, of a whole other generation you know, of knowledge. And he just gave it to us on a silver platter, right? Willem is like my contemporary. He's like my homeboy. So him and I have been friends, friends in New York. We're friends. He lives in Italy. He lives right around the corner from me in Rome. So, he's the godfather of my child. So it's like, we got a different kind of relationship.
And what does Rome represent for you?
Rome?
Yes, Rome. What does Rome represent for you?
Rome represents, it represents my Italian cultural roots, even though I'm from the South and Rome is different that way, from my real, blood people. But, it's still Italy. It's still, how, just a love of life, a love of culture, a respect for life and a respect for culture. Beautiful, beautiful city. Another kind of cinema city, like New York or like LA. I mean, these cities are, this is where the films are made in this country. Like Paris or whatever.
And I have another question. How do you select your collaborators in the movie?
I want people who connect to me emotionally and willing to pay the price and understand that that what we're doing is everything to us. That it really counts, and willing to lay it on the line, and also knowing that it's a group effort, and everybody, you're as weak as the weakest player, and everybody has to take ownership in the film and be part of it and willing to die for it, basically. Maybe not die, but come close.
And I was born the idea of one of my best movie, Kings of New York.
Yeah, what it was about? What?
I was born the movie Kings of New York.
How was it born? Nikki and I had we were. It wasn't an easy script. We worked it for a while. First we started off writing a script about the cops. Then in the middle of it, we switched the character over to about the gangster, and the bad guy, the good guy is the bad guy. It was New York in the 80s. Gangsters ruled. Italian American gangsters it was like the last of the great of the Italian, mob era, and Gotti and Joey Gallo, and these guys were like there. They weren't just they were in the street, man. They were out there. They were hanging out. You'd seen them, and I mean, it wasn't exactly in the circles these guys did, but I mean, they were. You saw them, and we once Chris Walken, accepted the role, then it brought a big, deep focus on how we were going to do it and where we were going to go with it, and the style of the film came from, some of the work I was doing in TV with Michael Mann, just how films were evolving in that period, it's like kind of the beginning of the New York independent thing, I think it was 88. When did we shoot that? 89, at the end of the 80s, I think. Beginning in 1990, I forget, but, early in that period. Yeah.
And Go Tales is one of your most popular movies in Italy. I was born Go Tales.
I just wrote it. I mean, I wrote it just based on, living. I think we were just trying to do. I don't know if I intentionally wanted to do a comedy. I just wanted to get off the other thing. We're kind of living that life of. It was like a high end. It was a real place, a high end club in New York. I just done a movie with Dennis Hopper called Blackout. And he kind of was creating a character there that then became Ray Ruby, that Willem very much understood. He was the genesis for that film because he got it. He got the script and he got that character. And then we were lucky enough to get the money in Rome, in Italy. Massimo Gotti, may rest in peace. I mean, one guy put up the bread, and it was, we went to Cinecittà. We built it all in a studio, just like those guys used to shoot back in the day. And, brought the guys from New York, had all our crew from Italy, shot with Berlucci's crew. It was fucking cool.
Yes, I think
Asia,
you are
Asia Argento, the whole, it was just cool.
I think it's a very nice movie. And I have
you.
another question. In your movie, there are many people, marginalized people, sinner people. In your opinion, in Italy, still a taboo about these people?
Again, you have a country. The thing about Italy, you have all Italians. It's not a country like the United States that is founded on migration. So even though Italy being where it is, in the center of the fucking Mediterranean, it's constantly been a country full of people from the east, the west, Africa. I mean, this is kind of the crossroads of the whole fucking this side of the world. But I mean, with the immigration situation, which is funny because it was the biggest quote unquote problem to exist, and now that this pandemic happened, I haven't heard a word about it. But I live in Piazza Vittorio, which is kind of the center of the migration, immigration of the people from everywhere, India, Africa, the Eastern Bloc, everywhere, man. It's Morocco, it's crazy, and it's cool, but. A lot of the situation is not so much pure migration, but it's like, the after effects of war, I mean, people coming here because the countries that they live in are like being devastated by, whatever, war mainly, and then other things. But so it's not, yeah, it is a feeling of like the way my grandfather went to the United States. He went for opportunity. He went as an option. He didn't go because he had no choice. So that's a different mind game, your mindset, for everybody, for the, the immigrant and for the country that they immigrated to.
And talking about your future, what is your next movie?
I want to do a film about Padre Pio.
Oh,
Do you know who Padre Pio is?
oh, it's very
You do,
important for
no?
me.
Oh,
It's
really? How
important for
come?
me, Padre
Why?
Pio.
Why?
Because I believe in God. I believe in. I am a Catholic, and
Right.
I'm very. My heritage was in Puglia. Was in
Right.
Puglia,
Oh,
and
wow.
yes, in Foggia, and I'm very
Oh,
close to
wow.
Padre Pio for this reason.
Oh, yeah. All right. So we're going to take the period in his life when he first came to Puglia from Campania, which was 1919. When
Oh,
World War I ended, the soldiers were just coming back home. The Russian, the communist Lenin had just overthrew the Tsar. That period in a small town in what's what's the city that Padre Pio is?
close to Foggia, close to Foggia.
Yeah, I know, but
Is
what's the name of it? Rotunda.
uh, I don't
Yeah, no,
remember
I can't
now.
either. Sana Rotondo. Okay, whatever.
I asked
Anyway,
the
it's
people,
there.
what's
I
the
know.
city
I've
of?
been there. I've been there. I've been there. I've been 100 times. Okay, so it just escapes me. Okay. The when he first had his first stigmatism, that moment is what the film is about. So it's Padre Pio as a young man.
Oh, very interesting, and we waited this movie.
Thank you.
It's an honor for me. It was an honor. Thanks for this
No,
interview.
thank you very much.
It's more interesting for me.
Okay. Love you. Love everybody. Be cool. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Okay.
Bye bye.